Okay, so this evening we are going to do a flight from Halfpenny Green down to the southwest of the UK. So Halfpenny Green is spelt obviously spelled Halfpenny Green, pronounced by locals halfpenny. So halfpenny is the old imperial coinage in the UK, and it was regularly contracted down to halfpenny. So the LF was chopped out and everybody just said halfpenny. So Halfpenny Green, Echo Golf Bravo Oscar. Let's go jump inside our little Bonanza. So we're going to go and have a taxi around the airfield here at Halfpenny Green, and then we'll fly a few circuits. So if we go and have a look at the layout of the airfield, you can see we're parked here on the main apron. The wind today is favouring runway 22, so we may well taxi all the way around the outside to get to it. We're on common traffic advisory frequency because as far as I'm aware they don't have tower here, or not in the simulator, and I think it's a bit of a mistake. So if you go and look here, yeah, it's just got Unicom 123005. Anyway, but it has got a tower, and it is a staffed tower, so that's a bit of a mistake in the simulator. I may see if there's a way we can address that at some point for airfields where we know it's wrong. We need to get the airplane up and running. I've already put some fuel in the aeroplane, so we'll go and remove the covers, get the yokes out of the way just so we can get started. And we can see I've got the propeller set there. We go for a rich mixture. Make sure we're using one of the tanks. We are. Make sure the cowl flaps are open. Crank the throttle open, and we're going to go and put the power on first. That would be a good idea, wouldn't it? Batteries on. And we're going to go and put the beacon light on while we're doing this, and we're going to go and put the auxiliary fuel pump on. Drop it down to low. We have an engine. So now we've got the engine running, we will stabilise it at 1000 RPM. So RPM is just up here. We're going to put the avionics on, calibrate the altimeter while we're at it. So I've just opted for a GNS 530 today. Can't see any point in having anything much better than that. I'm just going to go and check the volume levels while we're here as well. Make sure you can hear me over the top of the aeroplane. Yeah, it should be fine. The weather radar should really be on standby until we're in the air. So we'll go and put the transponder on. We've got 7 degrees cabin temperature, so you're going to have a blue light over here. We'll sort that out along the way. So cabin heat would help if we closed the door, wouldn't it? And then we'll go and pull the cabin heat out to get some heat into the cabin. Go and switch the GPS on. We'll program our basic route in, even though we're going to hang around Halfpenny Green for a while. So Halfpenny Green's just been released very recently by Burning Blue Design. Burning Blue, is it Burning Blue Design? I can never remember the full name of the company. Let's go look it up on their website. So if we go and search for Burning Blue, yes, burningbluedesign.com. So this is where I got it from. They've got a Black Friday sale on, by the way, just to let you know. So just waiting for the GPS to capture the satellites, and then we'll put some basics in there. I've opted for this radio kit because it's got the KNS-81 built into it, which might come in really handy when we're flying along. We'll do some touch and goes along the way, so it'll be good fun to play with it. It's just a nice toy to have. You can invent offset VORs. That's the main reason for having it. We're going to put our target altitude in for today as well while we're here. So we're just going to be at probably about 2,500 feet. So VFR kind of altitudes. So, full disclosure, I've not flown here yet. This is my first sight of the airfield at all. So GPS is up and running. Let's go and get our route put in for the day. So we're going to go from Echo Golf Bravo Oscar, which is Wolverhampton or Halfpenny Green. And let's go and look at it. I've penciled it in on LittleNavMap where we're going to actually go. So we're going to fly it down towards the Brecon VOR, so BCN. And then we're going to go to Swansea, Echo Golf Foxtrot Hotel. I'm not sure if Swansea Airport is still there. There were talks of it being shut down. Echo Golf, what was it? Foxtrot Hotel. Enter. And then Bodmin, Echo Golf Lima Alpha. And finally, St Just or Land's End, Echo Golf Hotel Charlie. Done. So let's put the magenta line in. We will go and change this to use the arc mode on the GPS. Although we're not going to actually be using it yet, but there we go. So let's put the yokes back on so you get to see them while we're flying around. Is the cabin temperature coming up? Yeah, it's up to 16 now. Look, lovely and toasty. We might have to put that back in a little bit in a while. Okay, so let's go put the nav lights on, and don't need the pitot heat until we're on the runway. Do we need standby gyro? I doubt it. So let's go put the taxi lights on. Should we put the... It's not going to make much difference. It's a nice bright morning. I was just thinking about putting the internal lights on. The rest of it's all looking absolutely fine. Just checking everything's working around the aeroplane. I'm just going to go and make sure the HSI... I'm not sure if it drifts in this aeroplane, so I've just hit a key combination to align it with the magnetic compass just in case. So we have head tracking, and that's working. Okay, so we're here, and we're going to go out to runway 22 for the wind, so we're going to taxi all the way around the perimeter to get there. Or we could go up the side of here, I guess, but it's probably safer to stay on the perimeter road. So, as I said, it's not a controlled airport in the simulator. Although, saying that, we're on the Common Traffic Advisory frequency, and let's do a radio check. Tower, Bonanza, Golf, Juliet, Bravo, Echo, Kilo, radio check please. I'm not expecting to hear anything back. And we haven't heard anything back, which is good. Because we're on the Common Traffic Advisory frequency. Someone taking off over there, look. Let's go and have a look where we are on the map. Yeah, so we need to go up this side. We're going to have to wait for this Bonanza. Not Bonanza, sorry, Baron to come past. Is he going away from us or towards us? It's difficult to tell sometimes, isn't it? They're going away from us. They're in front of us. It's a busy old airport today, isn't it? Let's put our parking brake on. So we're waiting for him to go. And it's just a queue that's patiently waiting. The AI sometimes does that. So these aeroplanes do not exist in the real world or in the simulated world. They're not real people. They're being conjured up by, say, intentions to have traffic around. Yeah, it's funny, isn't it? Look, they're making their way to runway 22, but this is all coned off, so you wouldn't be using these taxiways normally. Well, go on then. I'll wait on the holding point of 16 for him to take off on 22 and then follow him. Shred the back of his aeroplane with my propeller. Parking brake on. Go on then. Where's he gonna go? So let's go and put some lights on, shall we? Landing lights on. Oh, let's put the lights on. It lights up the instrument panel if nothing else, doesn't it? Pitot on. Pitot heat on even. We should be good to go in a moment. Has he gone yet? He's still taxiing out, isn't he? So, while we're waiting for him, we'll go and put this yoke back on. And he's just climbing away. I was going to do something and I can't remember what it was now. Oh yes, we were going to go and line up, at least for the purposes of our couple of circuits we'll do here, line up both the heading bug and the course indicator, or horizontal situation indicator, with the direction we're pointing. So we're going to orbit the airfield in a moment, but I just want to do a bit of a circuit first. So climbing out, I didn't check the altitude, did I, of the airfield? And now I've gone to the wrong window. And now LittleNavMap's going to be an absolute so-and-so and not let me click on it. Elevation 276 feet. Are we still going in a straight line? Fairly straight line. So we want 1200 or 1300 feet then for the circuit. So we're just coming up to 1300. A bit high now. Not looking what I'm doing, trying to look at the side of the aeroplane. That's the problem. In the simulator you can't feel anything. So you can't feel yourself dropping. See, look, as it picks up speed, it's picking up lift. And well, it's turning it downwind now though, so you'd think we'd be losing a little bit. But no. The trim's kicking in and it's hurtling along like a toboggan, and we're gaining way more height than we wanted to. So in the normal scheme of things you'd have the cowl flaps up now and you'd have your landing lights off, but we're going to leave them on because we're going to come straight back round. It's not very stable. Maybe the wind is throwing us around a little bit. So just bringing it in nice and stable, and we're going to do some more bits of the airfield in a minute. I just wanted to do a touch and go. Yeah, the wind is kicking off these trees and houses nearby and causing us a bit of mayhem actually. You can see it, look, kicking the aeroplane around. It's quite turbulent today. And I didn't really react quickly enough to that one. Looks very good, doesn't it? I've no idea if it looks like the real place. Okay, let's just lift ourselves back up to circuit altitude. We're a bit close, but so one more touch and go, and then we'll set off cross country. Except somebody's taxiing out, of course. So we're going to scare the life out of them in a moment. Maybe they just saw us. Okay, so we're already going the right direction for a straight out departure, so we'll climb straight out to 2,000 feet. Flaps are up. It's 1,000 feet. It's a beautiful day. So I rewound the time. Obviously it's dark here right now, but I rewound the time to this morning. So this is apparently what the weather looked like in the West Midlands this morning. Coming up towards 2,000 feet. Let the nose fall gently. Autopilot on, engage. And cruise power and cruise propeller. Turn the head tracking off for a moment. Let's go and sort things out. So landing lights off, taxi lights off, and I think we're good to go. How are we doing for fuel? We've used a little bit of the left tank, none of the right yet. Okay, so we'll go and swing our heading bug around to make ourselves cross into the GPS track. That's as close as we can go, apparently. A 5-mile range. And then we'll hit the nav button, which means it will then track the GPS track for us. So where are we on the map? Let's go and have a look. There's our initial circuit, there's the tighter circuit, and now we're heading off across country. So we're heading off towards the Brecon VOR 11745. Let's go and program that in inside. Switch it to active. And we're on GPS navigation at the moment, so what we'll do is bring the heading bug around to match the direction we're going, go to heading mode, and that frees us up then to change the CDI to VLOC, so this is now reflecting the VOR. Notice it's wandering, it's because we're a long way away from the VOR. Yeah, so it's tracking this VOR, but the needles, the CDI or course deviation indicator, is flopping around all over the place. Okay, let's go and turn the weather radar on. Not that we've got any weather to worry about, but there we go. Okay, so we're flying out towards Brecon at the moment. Should we go on to flight following so we get to hear the ATC talking? We'll need centre, won't we, to do that? So we're going to switch over to centre because these are all uncontrolled airfields. So we are... Actually, we get to choose, don't we? So November 6 Tango Quebec is the actual one that's here. So we'll go and say that. November 6 Tango Quebec. Okay. Centre, Bonanza, November 6 Tango Quebec, requesting flight following.
Bonanza Bravo Echo Kilo, negative traffic service. Remain outside controlled airspace.
Did I not? Oh, I haven't.
Next
There we go.
station en route.
So they're not going to do it for no reason whatsoever. Remain outside controlled airspace. What conspicuity? Oh, are we on the wrong? So we're showing 7,000. Is it 1,200 for the UK? I'm just going to go double check that. Actually, there's a good way we can do this. If you've never seen this, if we go into say intentions, and this is a really good opportunity to show intercom happening. So channel 1, obviously this is not a commercial flight, so we'll have the mentor in the cockpit with us, and we'll use Chance from Real Sim Gear, and we'll hide out of the way. Hi Chance, what transponder code should I be using for a VFR flight in the UK?
For a VFR flight in the UK, you should use transponder code 7000. This is the standard VFR code.
Okay,
Make
that's
sure
correct.
to squawk that before departure.
So we're already doing that. Okay, not a worry about going to get the flight following. We'll just go and stay on common traffic advisory frequency then. And get to admire the scenery along the way. It's a gorgeous part of the world, isn't it? The registration number in Say Intentions has a typo. Would that cause the what's the term they use again? Conspicuity. Let's go check. You think it's because the name was wrong? But yeah, but they don't know what my name is. This is just Bonanza 67 Quebec. Oh, it's 62 Quebec, 6T Quebec, but it doesn't know. That's the thing. You can make up whatever identity you want. That's nothing to do with it. They have been changing the rules recently. That should be 6 Tango Quebec, shouldn't it? We can try it again and see what happens. If I go back to center, oh, no, we've corrected it. What am I doing? Say Intentions. Go back to center. London Control. Bonanza, November 6 Tango Quebec at 2,000 feet, requesting flight following.
Bonanza 67 Quebec, negative traffic service. Remain outside controlled airspace. Squawk conspicuity and free call next station en route.
London Control, United 146, flight level 310.
United 146, radar contact.
So yeah, we'll go back to CTAF. They're not doing it for whatever reason. Okay, you can see we're being pushed slightly, so if we go and look on the map you'll see why. Oh, the wind's in our face though, so interesting. What's probably happening there is the tail is being, because we're only on heading mode, the tail is being weathercocked slightly to the right because the wind's coming in from over here, which is causing the aeroplane to try and fly into the wind. So all we need to do is track it back. Well, remember we're on VOR navigation as well, which probably isn't helping it. So if we say in nav mode, it should capture it because it's fairly close. Yeah, and it's doing so, look. But it means it will wiggle all over the place, chasing it as the CDI needle moves around. So it's going to fishtail around, which is always fun. So what speed are we doing? About 155 knots. So we're just approaching Hereford, which will be off the right side of our nose in a moment. So off of our right wing, it might be too far away to see, is Leo Minster over here. The other side is, yeah, it's too far away to see, is Bromyard over there. Yeah, look, it's chasing the needle. So what we're going to do to stop that happening is just stick ourselves on heading mode. I mean, we could use the GPS, and it will be stupendously accurate. Let's go and have a look on the map so you get to see where we are. Let's get rid of some of these dialogues out of the way. Oh, we're not running transmitter either, are we? Let's go sort that out. So if we go in here, and I'll run transmitter in the background. So disconnect it, correct the... what call sign were we again? I thought it showed it in here. November 6 Tango Quebec. November 6 Tango Quebec. And I think I'm still on that. There we go. So if you're wondering what transmitter is, I'll show it for anyone who hasn't seen it. It lets you see where each other are that are running the simulator, and it works across 2020, 2024 and X-Plane. So you can see there's my old shadow of myself when I change frequencies. So it holds on to broadcasts for about half a minute to a minute. So you'll see that one vanish in a few seconds. So about every 5 seconds this will be updating with my position on the map. There we go, it's vanished. Also you can see a trail of where we've been so far. You get a fading trail behind the aeroplane. We can put the weather on as well, so if we go and turn on the weather radar. Oh my word. Maybe we'll stay away from... Oh, we're going to Swansea. Oh dear. Didn't plan that very well, did I? So we're going to be in a rainstorm in Swansea. That's going to be great fun. We'll keep that handy then, just in case. You can see the cloud out there, look, across the hills. We've got quite a way to go yet, though. We've got to get to Brecon first, and then turn for Swansea. So the game we're going to play, I don't know if we'll be able to actually, it's quite a long way, it's 30 miles away. The RNAV computer, what you could do, so the wind's going to be from the south, so we'll probably be runway 22 at Swansea. What the trick you can play is measure this. As accurately as you can, and that gives you the radial and the distance. So 258 degrees, 31 nautical miles. So what you can do with the KNS81 down here, we set the frequency to that VOR station, 11745. Then we press data, and then we set the radial of the offset from it. So 258 degrees. Don't think we have any decimals on it, but this is where this can fall down, obviously, because the further away you get, the bigger this discrepancy might be. So distance away is 31 miles, which is a lot. So we go distance and turn that up to 31. It works better at short ranges. So then what you'll be able to do is switch this switch here to RNAV, and the HSI will reflect the offset VOR signal, so you can get a localizer on a runway where there isn't one. That's the game you can play with it. So if we are in horrific weather when we get there, we'll be able to come in over here, pick up our fake localizer and go in towards the airport without too much trouble. So there's a whole line of hills coming, so should we go and see how tall some of these hills are going to be? So 400 meters times 3, 1200 meters. So then, sorry, 1200 feet I should say, that's what I was meaning to say. And we're at 2000, so I don't think we're going to be anywhere near, but we'll take us ourselves up to 2500 feet anyway. So what you can do is engage vertical speed mode and then go and set your vertical speed. So we just climb at 2500 feet a minute, so in a minute's time we'll get to 25. We can increase the range on this thing. And you can see there's the Brecon VOR out in front of us. We've got distance to go, estimated time en route, and our ground speed at the moment. We can, I'm not sure if, is LittleNavMap showing any other aeroplanes around us? Not at the moment, it's really quiet out this way. There's more traffic over towards Bristol, obviously. There's a few planes down here, the gliding club by the look of it. There's a few over here. Oh, there is another. What sort of aeroplane is it? A Model 45. What's that? All I was thinking is this does have ADFS. And I've got to remember how to do it. There we go. So if we do see, there's an aeroplane there, look. So ADFS broadcasts the aircraft positions, a bit like TCAS. But it's not using radar to do it, it's using a communal radio reporting system. Okay, we're at 2,500 feet now. So we want to go in towards the Brecon VOR, and you can see at the moment this is showing us that the track that we wanted, that radial, is slightly to our right. If we wanted to fly straight to the beacon, we just rotate the course around until the CDI is in the middle, and then just match that with our heading bug. So that's just steering us gently right until we're going straight at the beacon. Cool. How are we doing? Oh my word, we've cooked ourselves. Look, 46 degrees. I forgot all about that. Let's go and put that all up. Let's turn it off for a while. Can we? I don't think this will work, but we'll try it. Go and cool ourselves down. There isn't a window on that side, is there? 44. Oh my word. It's a bit toasty in the cabin. So cabin temp has gone red instead of blue. You can see the seasons have kicked in, all the leaves have fallen off the trees now. We're almost into December in the UK. It's not going to be long, is it? It's going to look quite bleak out there. The leaves have fallen. It's very cool the way it does that. So a few weeks ago these leaves, the trees were all covered in brightly coloured, you know, purples and yellows and browns. It was lovely, and reds, and it's all gone. So we're down to 33 degrees. It's still showing red. I'm presuming the storm is out that way. Is it still showing on the... Yeah, it's still right over Swansea, look. Let's see if it's still there if we refresh the screen. I wonder if Navigraph is showing the same data. Oh, actually, that's going to be now. I'm recording this morning. So this will be live. Yeah, so right now it's hammering down over Swansea. But we're not right now. We are many hours ago. Which is why we don't see that. So I've got away with it. Okay, here comes the Brecon VOR. We can see on the distance measuring equipment 13 miles out. So these are the Brecon beacons details. Look at that wind kicking in. The airplane's struggling, isn't it? So what is the wind speed up here? We get a live reading. Oh yeah, at 40 knots. That's why. So that wind coming up the other side of that hill is lifting us, look. We're slope soaring. I think that's one of the big things that's got so much better in Flight Simulator is the modelling of the air mass moving over the ground. It's very cool. And, you know, turbulence forming around trees and things like that. So if you get a whole bank of trees near an airfield approach, or, you know, say a motorway that crosses over in front of it, and you often get trees either side of a motorway for the noise barrier, it causes havoc when you're on finals. You know, if the wind's the wrong way and it's turbulent around those trees. This is a gorgeous part of the world, isn't it? The Brecon beacons. Okay, here comes the VOR, and then we turn right out towards the coast and Swansea. So let's go to heading mode on the autopilot. Oh, we were on heading mode already. Beg my pardon. So we'll just change our course as we come through. So we'll be looking for 258 degrees out of Brecon. So we can do that now. So if we go down and look at the HSI. So there's our 258 degrees or thereabouts. So when the CDI comes in, we just turn right to match it. And that will put us on the next leg. As you can see, the autopilot is fighting at the moment. Let's give it a bit more power. Take it up to 25 on the manifold pressure and turn the RPM up a little bit, up to 22, 23. Just travelling at speed, it might cut through the air a bit better. So we're showing 15 degrees now. I've overdone it, haven't I? So let's pull that back out a bit. We're at risk of going cold in the cockpit. Okay, so you should start to see the CDI start to move because it's representing the next leg. I wonder if we can see it. Can we see the VOR station on top of the hill? It's going to be a circular feature. Is it this? No, we're not there yet. It's on this hill. And it's going to be just off our left wing. So in terms of the shape of the hill, it's on the downward slope. Oh, it's fairly near the... yeah, it's on the... Okay, can we see it? It's going to be there, isn't it? Is that a feature there? You can... It's difficult to tell from this distance. Oh no, we're still not there. We're looking for nothing. It's going to be that, isn't it? Or is that the base station of something to look after it from? No, because that's on the near edge. It's somewhere here. Or is that it? I think that's it. Yeah. You can get some scenery add-ons that put all the VOR hardware in the bases, because there's only a few hundred of them around the country left. So you can see, look, the CDI has just come through. So we'll spin the heading bug. So overshot slightly, but it's not a big concern. And we've got the run down towards Swansea now. So there are some windmills in the distance, which we're going to have to keep an eye on. So we're just passing over Aberfan. Oh, it's a famous place. Aberfan, there was a landslide here. It's before I was born, I think. It buried a primary school with the children in the school. Isn't it funny? You see certain place names and the story it kind of lives with you and everybody you know. Aberdare. I'm not going to try and pronounce some of the Welsh place names. I have a good friend who's a fantastic simulator pilot that lives in Wales and teaches Welsh, and he's been a fantastic resource over the years where I've asked him random questions. Yeah, look at the wings bending around. So this airplane's quite solid, but yeah, it does wobble a little bit. You see it there, look, juddering away. Looks like it's flapping its wings, doesn't it? So, are we high enough to get over the windmills? I think we probably are. If we had the GTN XI installed, we'd have little pointy markers all over the map warning us. I wonder if the AI will ever get smart enough to clean up the pictures of the windmills on the aerial photography. Wales is a beautiful place, isn't it? Oh, we're getting quite close to these windmills, you know. Within a few hundred feet of them. It's easy to forget how big those windmills are, though. They are giant. Okay, how are we doing for distance and time? We're 12 miles away. If we go and switch over to GPS, so we go and change the CDI mode, notice it will lose the guidance mode when we switch sources. So if we go back to nav mode again, and the airplane will corkscrew left to go and attain the GPS route. The main reason for doing this is you then get the distance to go on the GPS. 17 miles to run, 7 minutes to get there. So on our way to Swansea. We don't have a co-pilot, do we? Normally we have Amanda suffering in silence, watching us attempting to fly aeroplanes. Okay, so we got 15 miles to run until we're at Swansea. So I'm going to go and switch fuel tanks, by the way, because we're using the left tank and we'll get an imbalance if we're not careful. So I switched over to the right tank, so we'll bring it down to the same sort of level. So we seem to have equalised about 25 degrees centigrade in the cockpit, which is perfect. We can put the yoke back on, can't we? What's the temperature outside doing? About 5 degrees. So it's not as cold as it has been recently. So we've got a comment there about the graphics. Yeah, it's nuts, isn't it? It looks real. Even if you look underneath things, I can't do it so easily. Let's do it if I go and turn the head tracking off. I mean, it's just nuts, isn't it? When you look at it at this sort of level. I mean, even the reflections in the gloss paint that's got a slight tarnish to it on the fuel selector. It's mad, isn't it? And the light on the I've forgotten what this is called. It's got a specific name. Another one for me to look up. But yeah, so if we go back behind ourselves into the back of the aeroplane, then we've got the chocks, obviously, that we threw in the back. Some wonderful 80s textiles. Carbon monoxide detector. That's what I made. That's what I meant. They sometimes have a nickname, don't they? That's what I was trying to remember. So we're almost over to Swansea airfield. So this is the port. Swansea, should we come off the autopilot? Let's go and circle and go and have a look. There's the airfield. Oh, stadium, sorry. Did I just say airfield? I meant stadium. Yeah, I think this is just using AI buildings. It's not using photogrammetry. You can tell, look, where it hasn't done it, it's just painted on the floor. Yeah, the buildings don't have that variety that the real world has. Okay, let's head out towards the airport. Three and a half miles to run. A couple of minutes. So we'll orbit the airfield at Swansea before we decide how to come in. Let's go and have a look at the map. I'll keep an eye on the aeroplane. It's been pushed around by the wind quite dramatically. So we're going to need runway 22, aren't we? But we'll orbit. And so if we do, if we double back on ourselves, we'll go reciprocal. Then we'll do a U-turn, fly and do left pattern into runway 22. So there's the airfield. So we're going to almost do an exact 180 in a moment, which will bring us in alongside. Look at the rain coming down over there. Actually, we're going to fly over and then do a 270-degree right turn. That wind is howling along this runway. It was keeping us in the air. Look at that dark cloud. Oh my word. Look at this turbulence. Oh my word. That's that cloud. Oh my word. What is going on underneath this cloud? I'd hate to think about it. So, but we're going to have to fly over that direction. So let's get the autopilot on. We'll get heading bug ready. So the next leg is where are we? Can't see the track was right over the top of the direction. 199 degrees. So we're about 1 degree off. So it's tracking because of it's crabbing, sorry, because of the wind. So we're coming back up to 2,500 feet. Let's engage vertical speed to do it in a controlled manner. It's doing it at 500 feet at the moment. Actually, we're over water, so 2,000 will be fine. Just trying to get it to realise that I've reset it through its range that it was tracking towards. Let's go and turn the landing lights off. How's the temperature? 26, that's still good. Can we aim the weather radar up in the air? I don't think you can play with it, can you? Just wondering if we can get it to see this cloud. I bet it will see that one. Yeah, we'll just run away from the clouds, hey? How are we doing for power? And yeah, that's all good. The propeller can go a bit faster. Get us out of dodge. Power could do it coming down a bit, really. Okay, so we've got a bit of a water crossing to do now until we get down to Bodmin. So I'm going to take the opportunity. Let's take ourselves up to 5,000 feet. And I'm going to go and make a coffee while that's happening. In fact, I'm going to take, just to be safe, I'll take that down to 500 feet a minute. And I'll be back in a few minutes. Wow, that weather looks amazing, doesn't it? So I've been playing with the weather radar, and I've twiddled the knob up a bit, and it's just not showing anything. So I don't know why. Anyway, north coast of Cornwall, or is it Devon? This would be Devon. It becomes Cornwall at Plymouth, doesn't it? So we'll be going across the coast of Devon and then down into Cornwall towards Bodmin. Okay, I'm going to leave this going on autopilot for a couple of minutes just so I can drink my coffee without slurping in the microphone. I'll be back in a moment. Okay, I'm back. Just had a huge swig of coffee, a bit of cake. Now we're off. So I had my tea and medals before I even finished. So we're about to cross over land. If we go and look on the map, show you where we are. So is this, yeah, Heartland Point is out there on the corner. I've rounded that in a boat many, many years ago. Chiffonut, Bideford. A little way further down the coast we've got Port Isaac. If anybody has watched the Martin Clune's TV comedy Doc Martin, it's filmed in Port Isaac, so you'll suddenly recognise it if you look down. Actually no, this isn't good enough detail to show it, it's such a tiny little place. I've pointed it out on the channel before when we've flown past it. So we're going in towards Bodmin, and I don't think Bodmin is a controlled airfield now. Put the head tracking back on. You can look out the window then and be nosy. So we've got 30 miles to run in towards Bodmin. 12 minutes away. We are making really good time, doing nearly 180 knots. We could open it up even more. Should we see how fast it will go without ruining the engine? How are we doing for fuel? It's fairly even. We should be using the right tank. Yeah, and we are. Yeah, look at that speed creeping up. It's a quick aeroplane, isn't it? Look at the wings flapping around. If we increase the range on this, we'll see the airport coming in the distance. And there it comes. Just out of shot at the moment. So in the live stream we have someone with the best username ever. The best username ever, Magnifico Potato, has said, my old Sussex ferrying pub landlord Vernon comes from Cornwall. My dad lives in Cornwall, my mum and dad. They live down on the south coast. So you'll no doubt have seen when I went down to visit the Southwest Flight Sim group. If you follow my blog, you'll have seen pictures of my visit. I'll pop that up while we're flying along, so we've got a couple of minutes to spare. So if you go to johnbeckett.substack.com, there's my flight simulator blog. You can subscribe for free, by the way. So if you visit it, you'll see a subscribe link at the top right. And you can just stick your email in and go subscribe, and that means whenever I do a flight, I post the video afterwards on the blog, and you'll get an email. So, not long ago, if I go backwards in time, you'll see me visit the Southwest Flight Simulator group, and I went for the day. They were just setting up when I started taking pictures. And there's all manner of simulators that people have taken along, so quite often they have two computers. They've got their own one at home, and then they've got their mobile rig that they bring to club with them. So the main reason for that is the Wi-Fi in the clubhouse isn't great. But it's interesting, isn't it? So a lot of them running on site will either be running 2020 or X-Plane or DCS. So you can see there's X-Plane again. There's the old frame counter in the top corner. It's very good though. It's a great bunch of guys. And they did a talk with a projector and everything while I was there. They were talking about twin prop aircraft in the various simulators. But yeah, they're a really good bunch. They've got a nice Discord server as well. We're trying to get a few more people involved in their club. So trying to advertise its existence, because there's only actually 3 or 4 flight sim clubs around the country anymore. And theirs is one of them. They're always mentioned in the PC Pilot magazine as well. Anyway. We can see the airport coming now. So Echo Golf Lima Alpha, Bodmin. So we're going to do a touch and go at Bodmin, and then we'll carry on down towards Land's End. There's a bit of an indication of how fast the wind is. Look at the speed those windmills are whizzing around. I wonder what they use for a coolant within the gear in the head. It's on a super windy day. That's a lot of stress going through that. I bet it gets really hot. Because obviously the windier it is, the more torque you can drive, and the more energy you can get off the windmill blades. Okay, we're 4 minutes out from Bodmin, and then we have to figure out how we're going to land. Should we go and have a look? So we looked earlier on about coming in on runway 21 using RNAV. So let's go and configure that now. So we're in the cockpit. We've got the RNAV computer programmed in, remember? So we tuned it to... Oh, no, did we do that for up here? Yeah, we did, and we never used it. Did it for Swansea and never used it. We could do it for here though as well, and again it's a long distance to the VORs. It's probably not worth it. It's a clear day anyway. We'll maybe look at doing it with Land's End, because that's got a VOR right next to it, which will make it super accurate. yeah, we'll wait till we get to Land's End to play with the RNAV computer. So Bodmin airfield, we got the wind on the ground is 210 degrees 17 knots. So if you go and look down here, we want to come in runway 21 then, because the wind is going to be whistling straight up runway 21. Okay, let's turn the autopilot off. Should we go and have an explore along the valley before we get there? Gonna have to be careful, the wind is very, very strong. Yeah, the wind is coming over the lee of the hill here and playing havoc with us. Let's get away from the ground. It's a bit dangerous today. So we'll overfly and then come back around. So I want to get a good look at the airfield layout, if there are any hazards, or how we might deal with our approach. So we know it's straight in from this direction. So there's the runway directly in front of us. So what I'll do is turn a little way off to the right, so we get to look at the airfield as we pass, and then do a left orbit around the airfield and come back in again. Just a touch and go, remember. We're going to put the landing lights on there, hey. That wind is vicious. That was a downdraft we got caught in then. Look at that. Oh my word. That counts as a touch and go, doesn't it? It's just not safe to land there today at all. There's some sheep down there in the field wondering what the hell's he doing. It's properly windy out there. Oh my lord, look at that downdraft! That's scary. Okay, we've got about 20 minutes until we get to Land's End. So let's go and get the autopilot on. Nav mode is on, it's on GPS mode, so let's go and get the altitude up to a sensible height. Engage vertical speed mode, and there it goes. We can take off the landing lights, and let's go and reprogram the RNAV computer for when we get down to Land's End. So on the ground down here, 16 gusting 27. Oh my word. It might take a couple of goes to get in then. So runway 21, so we'll be coming in runway 20, which is grass. There's no way we're doing anything that's going to be anything like a crosswind. So we need to measure that out from the VOR station. So there's the VOR. So try and be as accurate as we can. So 217 degrees, 2.3 miles. And the frequency is 11420. So on the RNAV computer, we can press data until it lights up frequency. We want 11420. Then the radial is 217. And the distance is 2.3. And that is the RNAV computer programmed. So then when we switch this over, which we could do now, although that's, yeah, that's gonna, is that turned off the nav? No, it still kept the GPS nav. That's interesting. What's the message saying, by the way? Yeah, it's just rubbish. So what we can do is turn the GPS over to show our nav, and that's going to be relevant to the end of the runway. So then we go and change the course to match the runway direction. So we want it to be exactly 200 degrees. So relative to our little aeroplane here, we'll do a left turn to fly into the runway, yeah? So that makes sense. Look, we're coming in from this direction and we'll do a left turn if we were coming in at that angle. So we could fly for the VOR and then follow the track pretty much. So 11420, we could do that then. I wonder if we can pick it up yet. So if I put this, I'm not going to put this on RNAV yet for guidance, but we've got RNAV for the distance. Yeah, let's go and put this back on N1. See, I can't see it yet, it's too far away. What's the range on this? 200 miles. It's probably just the hills and the weather then causing havoc with it. Oh no, because we've done it on the RNAV, haven't we? Yeah, of course. Okay, let's put ourselves on heading bug mode. So heading mode on the autopilot, then we can change the CD over to VLOC. We can put in the same frequency 11420, which is the St. Just VOR, Land's End, 32 miles to run, and then we can change, we'll leave the course the way it's going at the moment, that's fine. Although we're saying 200 degrees is for finals when we switch over to our nav mode. For the moment we just want to fly straight towards the VOR, so we'll just say nav with that radial essentially, and let the aeroplane take care of it. Now there's a quarry. So which quarry is that? Fradden. Yeah, we could do an omni-bearing selector on the GPS as well. I think the RNAV computer is more fun though. What we're talking about here is it won't make sense until we can see the airfield. OBS mode changes the radial, also the course line, to project from the airfield. If it's on top of the airfield, from the VOR, I should say. So then you can rotate the course line through the VOR until it hits 200 degrees. So the course line is no longer the leg line, it's a line projected through the frame of reference, which is the next waypoint. Okay. How are we doing for fuel levels between the wings? Should be using the left tank again, really. Let's go back to it. $27 miles to run, 11 minutes at the current rate of knots. Let's see if we can speed up a bit. Although we're already going pretty quick, to be honest. Just wondering what else we can do to increase the speed without blowing the engine to pieces. Let's go and have a look and see how hard the engine is working. So this is the animation of the cylinders. To show you this, we got quite a lot of speed, so I'll keep an eye on the airspeed as we do this. I'll pull the engine back. We are going to get a warning through doing this. Look at it cooling down. I'm deliberately slowing the engine right down, starving it. Very cool, isn't it, to see all the animations happening. There's the electrical systems, there's the cabin heating, got a lovely green cabin. So you can see there's the vent that we open and close with the heating, which allows the heat from the ram air that comes through the engine, allows it into the cabin. It's clever, isn't it? Okay. $20 miles to run, 10 minutes to go until we get to Land's End. Eight minutes to run. Hurtling across the Cornish countryside. Let's go and have a look on the map, see our progress. We're going straight for Land's End VOR. See, the lovely thing about VORs is if we wanted to, we could come into the... Obviously we're going to be... If you think about it, we're going to come in from over here somewhere. Yeah, that's exactly the line we want for the runway. So what we could do, to give ourselves half a chance, is put a line through that. So if we were to fly at the VOR on the 260 degrees radial, that's the 260 degrees to the VOR, then we can play those sort of games. I'm not sure that we really need to, though, to be honest. We'll just fly through it and straight and then turn left, and we'll see the localizer from the RNAV computer when we do that. Obviously we'll be able to see the runway anyway because it's lovely, or I say lovely and clear. Look in front of us. is it still super windy down here? 10 degrees, 14 knots. It's calmed down. So we're just about to pass by St Ives. There's an old nursery rhyme about passing a man. As I was going to St Ives, I passed a man with 7 wives, is it? Each wife had 7 cats, each cat had 7 kits, and so on and so forth. How many people did I... How many people were going to St Ives? And yeah, obviously the answer is 1, because they were all going the opposite direction. Where did this weather come from? Rubbish. So we can go and get the frequency for show information for St Just. Tower 120255. So let's go do that. We are November 6 Tango Quebec, aren't we? So Land's End Tower, Bonanza, November 6 Tango Quebec, coming in from the east, requesting full stop landing.
Bonanza 67 Quebec, runway 25, left-hand circuit, report downwind.
Oh, it's almost into the wind, I guess. Runway 25, left-hand circuits will report downwind, November 6 Tango Quebec. So that plan goes out the window. But we can still do the same thing from here. We'll just go and reprogram the RNAV slightly. So measure to here. 215 degrees, 2.3 miles. So we're just changing the radial slightly.
Golf Tango Hotel Mike is on short final inbound to St Morgan. Please advise whether I have landing clearance. No, I cannot expect pattern entry instructions in a few minutes. That's what you said a few minutes ago. I'm now inbound to land.
Tango Hotel Mike, expect your pattern entry instructions shortly.
Expect me to be landing shortly.
I heard that the other day. That's quite amusing. So say intentions can cache radio, and I've got it switched on so it will play cached radio communications, and yeah, that one I heard the other day is quite a humorous one. So we're just dropping down 1,000 feet, and while we're on our way in, let's go and get the landing lights on. Did we ever put the pitot here on? Yeah, we did. So what we'll do, while we're just chugging in, we're going to go and put the 245 degrees on the course on the HSI. Because at the moment, we are going to go to heading mode. And then we can switch this to 245 degrees. Which is, that's the actual runway direction then, based on the direction we're going at the moment. Obviously the airport's going to be over to this side of us in a moment. Let's turn head tracking on. And we'll orbit the airfield. We can get rid of some of this rubbish now off the map. Remove the measurement. Remove the measurement. Remove the measurement. So, autopilot off. What was the actual altitude of the field? So we want 1400 feet. So let's descend down to 1400. So there's the airfield.
Vincent, Tower, Papa Hotel, Alpha Tango Whiskey, ready to copy IFR clearance to Mary's Airport with information Mike.
I'll grab that for you. Give me just a minute.
Vincent, Tower, Papa Hotel, Alpha Tango Whiskey, ready to copy IFR clearance as felt is since Mary's Airport.
So let's turn across our track. So we're going to turn this over now to RNAV mode. So this is now reflecting the centre line of runway 25. Which is over there, look. So we'll come in along here in a moment. So there's our 1,000 feet altitude for the circuit at 1,400 feet. And then we'll turn left. Get a gear down. Tower, Bonanza, November 6 Tango Quebec, downwind for runway 25, left pattern for full stop landing.
Bonanza 67 Quebec, roger, report final.
So, the thing we can press here that I forgot to do is amplify this. You put it on approach mode and it amplifies the signal, so you can see much more closely where you are in relation to that localizer. So remember, the course is pointing runway direction.
Salonia 73, roger. Salonia 73, contact departure.
Tower, could you please let me know departure frequency Salonia 73?
There's a hill in the way, isn't there? I can't see anything. The runway's right in front of us in the mist there. So that localizer has helped us a lot, look, having the RNAV computer. There it is. Whoa, wind. Wind, oh my word. So the gusts are no fun. That almost took off again. The wind just got up as we fell onto the ground. We'll keep the landing lights and the strobes on while we're on the runway.
Bonanza 67 Quebec, welcome to Land's End. Taxi, stand parking 23 at your discretion. Stay.
Taxi to stand parking at our discretion. November 6 Tango Quebec. Whew. We got there by one way or another. Go and get a cup of tea. All he needs is some music, isn't it? Like YMCA or something to do the actions to with his lights. Was that the prop trying to windmill?
Tango has information X-ray on board.
Let's go
clearance to
close say intentions now. The aeroplanes will disappear, by the way. There they go. Look, say intentions was injecting all of those. There we go. We got here in one piece. How do we get him to face the camera? There we go. It's a bit creepy, isn't he? Hope you enjoyed that. So that was a flight down from, where did we start off again? Halfpenny Green, or Halfpenny Green if you don't know the colloquial term for half a pence. Halfpenny Green in Wolverhampton down to Land's End. On the way we did a touch and go at Swansea and Bodmin. Okay, I'm going to leave it there and I'll see you all again soon. Take care.